Hey there, what's up? It's nice to see you back again. So, we're just gonna continue where we left off last time. Which is Ravaged Barrows and Mounds of the Dead that we've been plundering in the last episode. When I was about to leave from one of the buildings and I found a recipe for cooking. Specialist cooking, in fact. Then, right outside, I found these three ghosts, and they seemed to have a laugh at something, when I have noticed there is a book on the ground that teaches us a new emote, chicken. What's a legendary way to taunt somebody in PvP? Then I started wandering around, and I found one of the obelisks, and I was trying to remind myself what is the purpose of it, when I just accidentally kinda dropped into this building and have spotted this ghost. And that one wasn't disappearing. Therefore, we were able to interact with him, and apparently it's Thorgar, or Thorgar, that we've been basically seeing references over the entire Ravaged Barrows. He is a blacksmith, or he was a blacksmith, and he is capable of teaching us new recipes. However, we need to bring him a recipe fragment first, and we need to find where we can obtain one from. And guess what? In the chest right next to him, there was another golem part, which this time was a crystalline guardian scythe arm. In true Deynon's fashion, we had to basically change the appearance that we haven't been changing for the last episode, so it was about the time we equipped something new. It is the Relic Hunter armor that we obtained from the Tomb Raiders, however, I was lacking one piece of the set, which were the shoes. Right, so our mission for now is to keep looking around the camp to find who is going to drop the recipe fragment that we need. Once I have set my way to basically find this recipe fragment, I found this enemy right here. I have to say this was pretty much the tankiest enemy I have fought so far. It took us about 3.5 minutes to even defeat this thing. This one being a mini white boss. It's basically called a skeleton ghost, which, well, I'm not sure if it's right, but it looks just about it. A few finishing blows, the skeleton goes down, and we found the recipe. Well, guess what? We're now running back to Thorgar. Anybody here? I've got something. Hey there, Thorgar. Tell me what you know. So now that we've got the recipe, I guess we just need to read it to learn something new. We've got a scroll, Skella's Cultist Armor, which teaches us Skella's Cult Master Armor and Forgotten Furnishings. Nice. Let's have a quick look at exactly what we have just learned. Okay, so this part of recipe looks more like decorative elements. Okay, now it's time for the armor. Let's have a look. It looks kind of similar to what we could see in previous season passes. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere. Let's read the Pride of Aesir scroll and see what this gives us. Yeah, well, I don't think the helmet and its horns are kinda my thing, but the entire armor looks kinda neat, and the armor values on it are quite nice. Then I have reminded myself what the obelisks are for. If you attune your character, you are able to use the map room to basically teleport to this location, so I guess it is quite important to attune ourselves when we can see one. Well, I guess the three other obelisks that I've been just going by, I'll just have to come back to them. Next in line of tasks to do for today was basically getting a new full set of armor, and considering that I haven't had one in the last episode, I have chosen to present you yet another armor piece. This time, a Vanir medium armor set that we have obtained from fighting both Vanir settlers and whites. Next in line to do was to place few of my favorite container types, which was a cupboard that I usually use to store armor sets. We are going to store armor sets that we obtain within this area, so we don't have to come back all the way to our first base to do so. And now for the titular task of today. I have started going around Ravaged Barrows and Mounds of the Dead, so I could try and find all of the tier 4 Thralls, Exiles, that I have missed in the last episode, so we can start finally taming if I can call it that way, some of them in our new base. Our HQ was also upgraded. Now we've got more space to work with, it's not finished yet, and we've got higher walls, which basically reminds a little bit more about the castle. Well, somewhat of a castle. Okay, I'll give you a short walk around to show you what has been expanded. Well, it's not much, but at least it's something that we can work with. As I was going back to Ravaged Barrows to see if I can find Dalinsia, I have spotted a Nordheimer armorer which started being hostile towards us. And when she came up close, and I've noticed that it's actually a tier 3 armorer, I was like, nope, nope, retreat, knock, don't hit her, don't. Once I felt that the armorer is safe, I came back with a truncheon in my hand, only to see that she has despawned and a tier 4 smelter has spawned in her place. Jon the Tinkerer. Yeah, well, we will need him because I guess he's gonna give us some additional recipes this time. And look who I found when I came back. Janos the fighter. Well, yes, I know, we already had a Cimmerian Berserker in the Wheel of Pain. However, well, yet another fighter is never gonna hurt our defensive capabilities in case of a very tough purge. Also, if you would be wondering, well, if you haven't seen this place before, if you are a new player, if you want to get these two Thralls, or Exiles, you can navigate your way to the Ward Towers. They are located at D10. Next victim was the Taskmaster, and this one is going to be helpful when it comes down to speeding up the process of breaking the Exiles. If you watched the last episode, I guess you know what happened in here and why I am retreating right now. So first of all, I had to backtrack a little to be able to park my Shelby and put Gorilla in rest mode so both of them don't interfere with Dalinsia this time. Once I had this out the way, I could come back to pay a visit to Dalinsia, hoping that she didn't despawn. Hey, luck is on my side this time. So, obviously, it's gonna take forever to break her in to become our Thrall. However, if she hits hard as an Exile, what she's gonna be able to do if all of her abilities will be amplified by our attributes. Damn, all of the bosses will become so much easier. She was a tough one to fight with, but in the end, we won. Now, we will have even more capable fighter. In the same building where Dalinsia is located, you can find Specialist Cooking 3. And that makes it number 2 recipe that you can find in this location. Now that we have Dalinsia, we have to safely get her out of here, and this will be, well, she just glitched. This will be a little bit of a mission, so let's try this way. This method at least prevents me from going through the entire camp, which gives us a chance to lose her. That wasn't the most subtle way to go about it, but hey, it worked. Okay, so this is how our castle looks like from the outside. It's nothing too interesting. I tried to basically keep it as minimalistic as possible. I don't really fancy spending another 5 hours to craft all the resources to basically beautify it, only to be destroyed during the purge. So, well, that's how it looks like. Let's place Dalinsia in the Wheel of Pain, and maybe, in about 10 episodes or so, she'll be able to accompany us on our adventures. And the last tier 4 exile that I found was Gasha of the Dark, which is a tier 4 sorcerer. And, well, I don't have a clue just yet what she's gonna be useful for, but she's a tier 4, so... I guess sorcerers have something to do with the thaumaturgy bench and upgrades of Book of Kurok, but I have yet to see. Once I had 7 exiles in Wheels of Pain, then I came back to the Rotbranch, the first one we've ever seen, just to see this cool attack. I've never seen it before. And look what Nock has done. And lastly, I decided to finish the day off by going and beating one of the stronger enemies in the area. However, I didn't really anticipate it's gonna be that strong. Nock wasn't able to keep up with the amount of damage that the tiger was outputting, so I just decided to GTFO. And that would be it for today. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for staying here with me till the end. Leave a like or dislike accordingly. Drop down a comment or even subscribe. If so, I will see you in the next one. Deynon, out.